Cincinnati 5-3 on Wednesday.
And it's a 4-3-3 formation with an emphasis on control of the game and possession. Defensively, they'll gamble, push numbers forward, which creates chances but leaves them vulnerable in transition. DePaul's the emotional engine of the team, but Bright gives them a real balance in their defensive shape. Segovia, with or without the ball, is the real influencer of this attack. All three can do different things. All three complement each other very well. But in the previous two MLS seasons, including the playoffs, Miami had 27 wins, 88 points, and scored 108 goals. That's more than any other team in MLS. Yet somehow, 4 games in the new stadium, 0 wins.
And for Phil Neville and the Portland Timbers, 2 changes from a 2-2 draw in Montreal on Wednesday. Diego Chara and Anthony Cummins.
And Temis has been tested early and often at 26, but he's been very strong. Sermon was named to the World Cup roster in New Zealand. Kamal Miller returns to Miami, where he won the Leagues Cup in 2023. Caicedo is out due to injuries, so who better else than Diego Chara to step into the midfield to push Bassett and DaCosta forward. The attack is led by Kelsey, who has 5 goals on the season, but the thought tonight is Anthony and Velda could have a real impact on the results in transition. Since 2024, including the playoffs, Portland has lost more than 55% of their games on the road, which means they only won 8 of those 44 games.
These are the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer. We start with Leo Messi.
And Leo Messi's defying odds even at the age of 38 years old. Messi's been deployed in a freer attacking role under the new manager Hoyos, drifting underneath the forwards, controlling the tempo, still producing goals and assists at an elite rate. Every team he plays changes their plans to try and limit and to stop him, but they can't. The reigning 2-time MLS MVP looks like he could win his 3rd in a row if Miami can figure out the defensive side of things. Now, for the Portland Timbers, Christoph Veldes has quickly become one of the most dangerous 1v1 wingers in MLS. The Norwegian arrived from Olympiacos for a little more than $5 million with a European pedigree. But what has stood out in Portland is at his best, he's fearless, he's direct, and he's got a willingness to take defenders on. He's already produced goals and assists in 2026, and Phil Neville believes he's got the personality to be the next Diego Valeri. He's got to be more consistent if he's going to get there, and if Portland want to steal points on the road. Those are the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer.
Christopher Velda's parents met here in Miami while working for Royal Caribbean, whose logo is now on InterMiami's kits. They will wear them tonight against the Portland Timbers as the team still wait in the tunnel here at New Stadium to walk out for the 5th time in this building. The captains, Diego Chara, the 40-year-old, Leo Messi, they've never played against each other. Chara in his 16th year in Portland, one of the all-time greats in the history of Major League Soccer, standing a couple feet away from the man who many think is the all-time best in the history of this game. It's a very experienced referee crew that you're looking at. Drew Fisher, the back-to-back Major League Soccer Referee of the Year, and he is flanked by assistant referees Michael Barwigan and Lias Arfa. Those 3, a Canadian trio, will be working together at the World Cup this summer in North America. What's going through the minds right now, Taylor?
Oh, you can feel your heartbeat in the back of your throat. These are the moments you remember.
We had a good combo with Phil Neville about this, and him telling his Everton teammates his first trip back to Old Trafford when they were standing across from so many Manchester United legends that they're just human beings, just like them. And he said Kamal Miller gave that message to the Timbers ahead of this game against Inter Miami.
Yeah, but I think Phil Neville probably tapped into that energy of saying, this is my first trip back, let's send a message. There's nothing better than walking out into the cauldron before the game. New stadium's as good as it gets.
Can Miami finally win in this building, or will the Timbers keep the winless streak going? Sunday Night Soccer, presented by Continental Tire, kicks off next on Apple TV. Little word. Walmart.
doubleheader built for the spotlight.
What a spectacle tonight.
The expectations are sky high as Messi leads Inter Miami into their stunning new home.
Messi's header!
But the Portland Timbers are ready to spoil the moment.
Things falling into place for the Timbers.
Then, get ready for fireworks. LAFC's electric duo, Son Heung-min and Denny Bouanga.
On the turn. Denny Bouanga! Scores again!
Collide with Nashville's unstoppable force.
Nashville has numbers. Here's Christian Espinosa! Leads it across for Mokhtar!
All the goals and all the star power. Sundays were made for this.
We are in for a treat.
It's all coming your way tonight. Sunday Night Soccer is coming up next.
This is the win probability. Inter Miami still winless at New Stadium, but heavily favored to break that 4-match winless streak at home today against the Portland Timbers team with 1 win and 1 draw in 7 road games so far this season. There's Drew Fisher, the referee today, and his World Cup bound referee crew. Helping them out, the video assistant referee in North Texas is Kevin Terry Jr. Leo Messi has found his form. 9 goal contributions in his last 3 games. He is once again atop Major League Soccer's goal contribution leaderboard with 16 so far this season. Just absurd numbers in his time in Miami. Playing against the Portland Timbers for the first time. What a gorgeous view. New stadium. A beautiful building. Everything has been right in this building for Inter Miami except the results. They try to change that today. The Portland Timbers try to continue spoiling the party in pink here at New Stadium. We're underway on Sunday Night Soccer. It's Inter Miami hosting the Portland Timbers. Miami in their primary pink, Portland in their primary green and gold. Taylor, I'll put it bluntly, what do Miami need to do today to break the winless streak here at home? What do the Timbers need to do to keep that going?
Miami's got to prove to themselves that they can have a complete performance, that they do not need to score 5 goals to win a game the way we saw it midweek at Cincinnati, and especially in this building where it's hot, it's humid, The fans are behind them. They should try and keep a clean sheet today. You know they're going to get chances. You know they're going to get opportunities to score goals, but can they defend, especially against a Portland team that can really get out in transition? Portland's just got to be very mindful and disciplined with their defensive shape, and then play to the strength of their team in transition, and that's their two wingers.
Timbers have found a little bit of form of late. They've won 3 of their last 6 every other game going back the past several weeks. That's after winning just 1 of 6 to begin the season, which was opening week. Miami, great on the road, difficult times at home. In 3rd in the East, they can move atop the Eastern Conference, at least ahead of LAFC Nashville, our doubleheader here on Sunday Night Soccer with a win today. Velasco Segovia drives forward for Inter Miami. Out wide, Reguilón looking for Messi. It was broken up by Portland. Velda with Bright chasing. Bright sends it out off of Velda for a Miami throw.
Yeah, but good work from Velda and even better work from Yannick Bright. That's Yannick Bright's strongest asset, is to allow Segovia and DePaul to be very aggressive going forward, pick up positions further up the field, and help the attack. Yannick Bright's got to clean things out. He's got to put fires out. Right there, a great example.
The starting lineups are presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. Same 11 that played 4 days ago in Cincinnati for Inter Miami. That means 9 players have started 3 matches in 9 days for Inter Miami. Not a lot of rotation from Guillermo Hoyos. Miami coming off back-to-back wins on the road. 5-3 in Cincinnati, 4-2 in Toronto before that. And for Phil Neville, 2 changes from a team that drew 2-2 against Montreal on Wednesday. They've stayed on the road for about a week. Diego Chara coming in for the injured. Jose Caicedo, the 40-year-old club legend, gets the start today, and Anthony in for Alexander Aravena on the wing. David DaCosta. Bassett does well to turn away from DePaul. Now DaCosta for Anthony. DaCosta, Christopher Velda. Velda, defended well by Lujan, who sends it into Luis Suarez. Diego Chara on the back of Suarez, who did well to find DePaul. Now Messi for Miami. Leo Messi carrying forward. Still, Luis Suarez clips it to Messi! And the save! Wonderful from Miami. And Portland's keeper stays strong, stays big, and keeps it scoreless.
As if there was any doubt where Suarez was going to go with that combination. It's remarkable.
It's his 5th straight start.
The entire world knows exactly where Messi's going to go, where Suarez is going to go, and yet they still find a way. Now, it's one thing to have the intuition between the ears and understanding between each other, but you also have to have the technical ability to pull this play off. You cannot drop off of Luis Suarez 22 yards from goal. Put pressure on him. You don't put pressure on him. He's allowed to have that quality to deliver a ball. 2 inches any other way, it's 1-0 Miami.
James Van Temes led MLS in saves for 90 minutes heading into this weekend. He no longer does because of a big number of saves from Brad Stuver yesterday. So Stuver back atop that category, but he has been massive for Portland. 13 saves away at Salt Lake a couple weeks ago, a new Timbers club record. And Phil Neville knows they're going to need a big day from James Van Temes today. I mean, he was really blunt with us, saying, we know we need to score multiple goals to beat Miami. They will score goals. That's inevitable. And he said we need to get at least 3 to have a chance to win the game.
Well, and part of the reason why Phil Neville's mentioning that is any game this season that you've watched, the opposition has had opportunities. And even in this building, remember Austin came out, punched Miami in the face, and were the better team. And then Orlando City had to recover and score 4 goals after being down 3-0. But they will give up chances. They'll leave themselves exposed. And that's why I think Phil Neville's pinpointing that we've got to score goals if we want to compete and win the game tonight.
And Timmons comes to collect. Gives it away, right to Segovia. Now Rodrigo de Paul with time. Into Suarez, over to Messi, around Chara. Chara trying to break it up, it's still Messi. It's blocked by. Sermon was there as well. Sergio Reguilon looking for Berterame, missed it. And it's out for a corner. Or rather, excuse me, out for a goal kick.
It was off Berterame.
It is just odd from Berterame. I mean, that ball went off of his back. He was almost ducked underneath it.
Yeah, it was a little sloppy, though, from Brandon By to lose possession in that moment because it allows Rodrigo de Paul Miami to turn them over and be on the front foot. And then Reguilon delivers a really good ball in. I mean, that's a wide-open header for a $15 million striker. There have been 5 to 6 clear opportunities that he's basically whiffed on. And that's why even in the pregame, I said he's got 7 goal contributions. I think if you were being honest, he should have 13 or 14.
That's a really good skill from the Timbers. Pass it to Belda. Over to Anthony, sliding in his Ian Frey, and he'll concede the corner. The first one of the match will be Portland.
DaCosta's upset with Belda, and he's 100% correct. You do all the hard work here. Play it. Play it quickly into Anthony, but by taking that extra 2 touches, it allows Ian Frey and InterMiami to slide over, cut the angles down, and now it becomes difficult. 1 too many touches in the moment after a great action from Portland to get into open field.
Belda, the Argentinian Norwegian, will take this corner. And there's fisticuffs going on inside the 6-yard box. Bruce Fisher will have a chat. 2 former teammates, Ian Frey and Kamal Miller. They shared a nice moment before this game on the pitch. They are opponents, rivals right now. Now ready, Belda. Cleared only as far as DaCosta. It was blocked. David DaCosta will reset for Portland all the way back to James Pantemis. Oh, he almost took that away.
Yeah, but this is the kind of game they need from DaCosta all over the field, just being someone you can play through, put his foot on the ball, play the right pass in the right moments.
Here is DaCosta. Brandon By and Anthony. By combines well with Anthony. Anthony's cross is too high for Kevin Kelsey. This exclusive NetCam replay is brought to you by AT&T.
Well, it's that combination again between Suarez and Messi. Brandon By's got to step earlier to Suarez, not allow him to hit that ball over the top and clip it, but good save from Pantemis. I said it to you when we were on the field for MLS Countdown. There's a different buzz in this building. The anxiety has been built at the fact that they haven't won in their first 4 games here.
And the Timbers coming forward. Anthony, Cole pass it, thinking about it, saved by St. Clair. He pushes it away, only as far as Kelsey, who puts it into the middle. Pass it couldn't get there. Miami able to clear. Now forward for Berterame. Sermon Charan chasing. Berterame gets there for Miami. Leaves for Messi. Berterame forward to Messi, but too far. Sermon able to clean it up for Portland.
You can always tell teams that play InterMiami, their first pass after winning possession, when it's out of that counter-pressing moment, if it's clean and precise, then they get themselves out of that moment, because then Berterame, Suarez, and Messi are bypassed, because all three of them are not really going to defend. It's a good strike here from Cole Bassett. Better save from St. Clair to parry that wide of the goal. But so far, Portland, when they've won possession, that initial reaction and pressure from Miami, Portland's played out of that well. That's why they're getting decent possession and decent pattern of play to get into the final third.
This is good again for Portland. Costa, Zelda, Brandon By. And the cross is overhit. Oh, St. Clair had to make sure that that wasn't going to be on goal. And it's safe in the end for Miami. Guillermo Hoyos, Inter Miami's manager, in charge for a 7th game. They've won 4 of his 6. Lionel Messi's former academy coach in Barcelona. He has had a long and winding career since then. This is his 16th club managed. This is Phil Neville's 2nd club managed. The first, of course, was Inter Miami. Phil Neville from 2021 to 2023 here in charge of Miami. Very different Inter Miami team. We're playing in Fort Lauderdale. The roster was not the same. He was let go on June 1st of 2023. It was a Thursday. The next Wednesday, June 7th, Leo Messi announced that he was coming to play for Inter Miami.
The emotions are high for Phil Neville today, but it's also about having better performances on the road. Since 2024, they have won 8 of 44 games on the road. And he knows if they want to get back into the playoff race and playoff picture, more importantly, a top seed in the West.
Oh, good world to be pressuring Yannick Wright. Wright does well to deal with it. It was a couple weeks ago in San Diego. Kelsey resulted in a goal.
He sneaks up on you. Even Pat Noonan and FC Cincinnati told us about that when they signed him in his first year in MLS.
Jamal Miller stepping forward now over to Cole Bassett. He has some time. Now David DaCosta. DaCosta leaving. Anthony. It was blocked. Timbers unable to threaten Dane St. Clair, but they've had more of the ball in the first 14 minutes of this match. Off of Bassett, a Miami throw.
But more of the ball, more possession, more shots, all of that doesn't matter if you don't take advantage of the chances, because all that guy needs is one.
Seen it time and time again against Inter Miami. Guillermo Hoyos knows it. Feels inevitable that Miami will find their goals. So you have to take advantage of your chances, of your good passages of play when you play against Inter Miami. Miami have allowed over 2 goals a game in this building, most notably the 4 that Orlando put on them in a comeback on May 2nd, 2 weeks ago. For Portland, this is already a better defensive start away from home. In 4 of their previous 7 games, they conceded in the first 11 minutes away from Providence Park.
It was close, if not for Pantemis in his face. Messi and Suarez would have had a goal, and here we go.
And the 15th minute. DePaul bursting forward. It's Suarez! Pantemis again! This time with the leg.
Well, Javier Mascherano was moved on from, and Guillermo Hoyos came in and said, I'm just going to put my best 3 attacking players on the field at the moment because they have a good understanding of each other. Now, Allende's hurt, so Vetti's not in the game day roster today. But Suarez has come in. He's lit a fire a little bit under Berterame, and obviously the understanding he has with Messi. Here we are 15 minutes in. Pantemis has made 2 real strong saves.
Miami's first corner. Messi goes short and gets it back. Messi goes away from Zelda and then away from the Costa back post. Miller just sees it out. lightest of touches from Kamal Miller. That's another corner for Miami.
Well, that's an attacking player defending in more ways than one. Velda just cannot turn his back on Lionel Messi. You know he wants to cut it against the grain, but just that little dink to the back post. Former Inter Miami defender Kamal Miller defending well in the moment.
Lone will take this one. Spraying it towards Lujan, who heads it back into the middle. Flores was offside on his initial shot that hit the bar. So close to an opener for Miami.
Well, this is why it's so important. When oftentimes you hear managers talk about second phase defending in set pieces. But immediately when that ball's headed back against the grain, you've got to hold your line. You've got to force the line to come up. All it takes is one Timbers defender to stay in the post, to cover next to Pantemis, and Suarez is onside. Good second phase defending on the set piece from the Portland Timbers.
Clearly several yards offside. But now Miami threatening. Trying to spray it out to Bai. Reggie Lone does well to step up and win it. Suarez with Bai chasing. Oh, Brandon Bai called for a foul. He thought it was clean. Another set piece coming for Inter Miami. They go quick. Floated in. Corey trying to clear. Messi tried to get the shot away. Bai comes out with it for Portland.
I love the idea, though, from Suarez, because everyone in the building thought he would come forward. They wouldn't maybe set that up and bring a couple of the attacking players forward, but the quick free kick kind of caught Portland off guard there.
Right behind for Frey, behind Anthony, Pantemis off his line. Pantemis able to make the save, reaching up with a big left hand. It's another corner for Miami.
Well, both fullbacks of Inter Miami can be very vertical and get in behind. Anthony gets caught a little flat-footed. Pantemis again coming up big.
Now Messi, he was looking for the Olympico, and he apologized a little bit to his team. He saw Pantemis out giving instructions, tried to play it quick. That's 3 big saves for James Pantemis in the first 19 minutes.
What a selfish player Messi is.
He's the only thing he hasn't done in his career. Yeah.
But this is brilliant from Pantemis. And here you are pontificating about Portland on the road and making sure they keep a clean sheet. 20 minutes in, though, their goalkeepers had to make 3 really good saves.
That first 14, 15 minutes, Portland had a lot of possession. They looked good, but the past 5, Miami has really put the pressure on. Still scoreless. Full Bassett. Brandon Bai, isolated with Sergio Reguilon. Easy for Mikhail. Creating some really big chances in these first 20 minutes. Trying for another as DePaul comes forward. Finds Segovia with time over to Reguilon. Reguilon into the middle. Pantemis there just in front of Bergerame. Now Pantemis gives it away.
It's a bad decision, as good as he's been in this game.
Bergerame holding up Miller, gets it back to DePaul. Blocked by Thurman, maybe it was Segovia it went off of. It's still there for Miami. Wonderful ball. Suarez tries to keep it in play and does. Bassett heads away, only as far as Bright. Kelsey steps in to take it away. again, Portland, they just can't get out of this repress from Miami.
Well, Belda and Anthony need to do a little bit of a better job to be a reference point to play off of. Be in front of the defender. That way you can keep possession. Kelsey's putting in a real shift here.
That's a couple times he's come back to take it away, but both times Miami's retained possession. Kelsey might get there. Lujan does enough. Massive pressure in Messi. Messi turns away from it, broken up by Chara. Belda finally gets on it for Portland. Segovia trying to win it back. Belda accelerates forward. Belda spinning away. Oh, brilliant to Kelsey. Kelsey spinning. Kelsey back post. DaCosta settles. DaCosta's shot was blocked. But a corner coming for Portland.
Brilliant work from Belda. Does a real good job when this ball turns over. Crazy to think about that both his mom and dad worked for the Royal Caribbean. And when he was a young kid, he lived here in Miami. So a little bit of a coming home party on some level for Belda. Great little run, but then ball in behind. Ian Frey defending on the back post, but good work from Portland in transition.
Ian Frey getting the block. Now Belda, Norwegian father and Argentinian mother, take this corner from Portland. Floats this one to the back post. Bai gets his head to it, but can't keep it in play. Don't miss your chance to see the biggest stars in North American soccer, fresh off of a global summer of soccer at the 2026 MLS All-Star Game presented by Chime in Charlotte on July 29th. Tickets are on sale now at MLSsoccer.com/All-Star. Voting is open right now at MLSsoccer.com. Ray gives it away as Corey steps up for Portland. Belda to Bassett. David DaCosta. Miller draws the foul.
Well, Portland's just got to be mindful. The three center midfielders got to be mindful. Phil Neville's a little bit concerned that they're a little too stretched. The shape's a little too much. Diego Chara, 40 years old. Yes, he's going to sit in there. But Bassett and DaCosta are being so aggressive and going wide, going forward, that when it turns over, those are the spots that Hoyos loves where Lionel Messi drops. I think Bassett going to be a little bit more mindful, maybe play a little bit closer and balance out the midfield in the shape of the Portland Timbers.
Trying to leave it for Belda. Couldn't get there before it went out of play. Match number 5 at New Stadium in Miami, Florida. The new building for InterMiami after several seasons up in Fort Lauderdale. It is a beautiful stadium. Yet to christen it with the opening win. Had chances today to go ahead. James Van Hemmet, the big save, still scoreless. Right in front of Belda. Miller is able to head it forward. Oh, Bassett. I don't know what he was trying to do there, but Sermon is going to have it covered for Portland. Chara to Bassett. Now springs DaCosta just too far. Big match for Phil Neville against his former club. He says it feels like going home a little bit, but he's done it before when he first went back to Old Trafford after so many years at Manchester United. He returned with Everton. His message, play the game, not the occasion. But Finn Sermon told us, Phil Neville said, hey, during these 2 hours, I'm going to want to go to war after the game. I'll kiss, I'll cuddle all my old friends, all the familiar faces back here in Miami. What card? Got it right. Segovia! Just wide.
This is why I tell anyone when I watch InterMiami, Segovia is just a massive influence on this team, with or without the ball. Just real good understanding of positions to take up that can then be between the lines. He can come wide if you need to combine with a fullback and come inside. He has scored goals on the counter. He has scored goals against the low block. Just a real good understanding tactically of where the game needs him in the moment. Just a little slippy type of run in behind gives them an opportunity. Good hold-up play from Kevin Kelsey.
Got the ball wrong, looking for Christopher Velda.
As a center forward, though, when you're putting in the amount of effort that he has put in right now, 28 minutes in, it's 25 yards out, have a hit.
Now the game is stretched, and Rodrigo De Paul is streaking forward, looking for Messi. Chara was there, Messi still on it. His shot was blocked by Chara. And then Bassett gives it away right
Two old men are going after it.
Isn't it good, huh?
I feel like Diego Chara, 65 years old, will still slide tackle Messi.
40 years old now, Diego Chara. De Paul,
Good defending.
heads away. Reguilón all alone, plenty of time. Reguilón, good ball in, Ian Bray met it, but it's out.
Diego Chara has just been so good for the Portland Timbers for 10-plus seasons. And he knew tonight was going to be difficult, just kind of shadowing those spaces where Messi loves to operate. Just be a nuisance, be in the way, but not fouling, knowing that 25 yards and in, he can score from anywhere. He's just always nitpicked you in certain ways and made you uncomfortable, Diego Chara. But he's also had the propensity for an untimely foul or a yellow card or whatever that is. But his man next to us in the booth, Diego Valeri, said he'd be the first guy he'd pick on his team in 2 seconds, and I can understand why.
Chara sprays it wide to Anthony, now into the middle to Da Costa. Belza, top of the area, try to get it to Da Costa. Hops out to Bassett. Now Kelsey. Bassett and Vai on the ground. Nobody from Portland was making the run, and St. Clair collects Coblin.
Well, it's the right observation, Jake. You're 100% spot on. Phil Neville's a little upset, too. Both Kelsey and Velda made the same run. Someone needed to get to that near post. I think if you told Phil Neville and his staff 30 minutes in it'd be 0-0, he would have signed that dotted line.
They've had a couple big saves from James Pantemis, and while they forced the one out of James St. Clair, the shot from distance from Cole Bassett, they still created some threatening moments of their own in transition. Possession 50-50 also, Portland will be happy with that. Miami at 57% on the season, second in MLS. Portland, not a team that usually has a lot of the ball. It's been a fun opening half hour. Miami 10 shots, Portland with 5. Miami comes forward again. Finn Sermon there to break it up. Vai trying to get on it. Suarez so good. Bergerande with Miller on his back. Out to Reguilón. Mikael and De Paul. Anthony leaves it for Da Costa. Try to get it into Segovia. Broken up. Now Anthony. Wonderful tackle from Luhai. Oh, Bassett. I think he nutmegged De Paul there. And still Cole Bassett puts the ball from behind. Bassett just kind of ran out of gas.
Yeah, but that's the Rodrigo DePaul that Cincinnati did not see, right? And so those 2 goals that were given up, DePaul in transition wasn't really aware of in the moments defending. Tonight he's put in a little bit more work on that defensive side.
Messi, Suarez, Segovia.
Inter Miami find their opener, 1-0. Torrid run of form going into a World Cup where both Rodrigo DePaul and Leo Messi made news this week that they've been training double days away from Inter Miami to get ready for Argentina's defense of the World Cup. You've got to be lucky when you're good. A little bit of a deflection off a sermon, but Segovia understands that Messi's trailing, a little bit of a flick behind him. No mistake about it. His 12th goal of the year. Guillermo Hoyos and Inter Miami, 1-0 lead here at home.
Leo Messi's 12th goal of the season, one behind Hugo Kuipers atop the Golden Boot leaderboard in Major League Soccer. Now 10 goal contributions over the past 4 games, including today. 3 in each of Miami's previous 3. And he's keeping that pace going with a goal just about a half hour in tonight. Diego Chara, Christopher Velda. Velda has gone down and holding onto his face. Timbers will play on Chara into the middle. Costa turns back to Bassett. Velda drives it in. That comes off of Reguilon, who was staggering a little bit. Kelsey, wonderful turn, and then blocked by Bright.
Well, Phil Neville's losing his mind that the whistle wasn't blown on Segovia. And that challenger hand to the face of Velda, but the referee's blown the whistle now because Reguilon in a head injury, so he's called the staff on from Inter Miami.
These are the team benches built by the Home Depot as Reguilon gets checked out. Facundo Mora, Noah Allen, outside back options for Guillermo Hoyos. Some youngsters on the bench as well. Pinter, Lambeck, Shaw. And for Phil Neville and the Portland Timbers, Felipe Mora, Alexander Aravena, care of Chilean International. Felipe Mora played for Inter Miami head coach Guillermo Hoyos at Universidad de Chile when the team won the league and Mora won the Golden Boot. Right now, Miami's concern is for Sergio Reguilon.
Oh, and right before the goal happened, Phil Neville and the Portland Timbers were upset with that challenge. Studs up from Luan. Said it was dangerous. He left his feet. Now, obviously, no contact was made on Anthony. The ball was won. Anthony really wasn't close to the ball, but he does leave his feet and slide into it, and it was that challenge that kept the play alive for Miami to score the first goal of the game. I think if Anthony is closer to the ball and closer to the challenge, it's more egregious than what we just showed you on the replay.
Anthony and Lujan were continuing that conversation.
This place is unbelievable.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
And it keeps growing literally around new stadiums. With each passing week, more construction, more getting filled in.
And now that we're closer to summer, it's 180 degrees in this boat.
It is a muggy Sunday in Miami. Portland plays quick. DaCosta leads. Bassett. It was blocked by Frey.
Portland's just got to be smart here. Don't lose their shape. Still have belief you're going to get chances against this Inter Miami team. The last thing you want to do is to give up the second goal and go into halftime completely defeated. Stay the course. Stay very compact when you have possession, so there's no transition. But the patterns of play that Portland have had, they've created some looks for themselves in the attacking third.
Chara into DaCosta. Reggie Loan back out on the field for Miami after a brief check. Now Sermon does well to find Belda. Belda tried to get inside of Mikael, who breaks it up and keeps it in play. Suarez, a touch, Segovia, carry backwards.
But again, who are they playing through? Segovia is just always in these spots. When you talk to the opposing coaches, they always mention, of course, the Messi, Suarez, and all of that. But they talk about Segovia and helping this team just orchestrate their patterns of play, their possession, getting into the attacking third. He can play 3 or 4 positions for this Miami team. He's a really solid, strong player.
He has 8 assists this season. He has drawn even with Son Heung-min as the leaders in Major League Soccer. Telesco Segovia. Wonderful ball. Messi for a second. Just wide.
I mean, we showed this in the MLS countdown, didn't we? Yep. When Rodrigo De Paul picks up his head and plays these diagonal balls, he played a ball to the back post, and it just missed Messi Wednesday night against Cincinnati. This one, it connects. Now, I think if you're Bertarame, you ask Messi, drive it across, and it's 2-0. But that kind of ball from De Paul is just brilliant. Opens up the game for Miami going forward.
And De Paul has 4 assists in the last 2. He's up to 7 on the year. He's really contributing in the attack. Phil Neville didn't like that decision.
Only I would suggest that Bertarame yells at Lionel Messi, right?
You would. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, and he would look at me and go, yeah, but you whiffed on 6 chances. Zip it.
Well, this is the win probability. Miami heavily favored at the beginning of this match, and more so with the 1-0 lead thanks to Leo Messi's 12th goal of the season. Messi puts the ball back into play. Timbers able to clear. Chara to Belda. He's very forward, has Anthony with him. Belda will play it to Anthony. Anthony, wonderful defending in transition. Sends it out for a corner.
Well, coming to fruition, exactly what Phil Neville and his staff wanted with Anthony and Belda is in transition, find the game. Miami has not been able to defend these moments well. Tonight, they've been solid enough. I think Luan has complimented Mikael a little bit more with his composure and reading of the game. But that's why they went out and signed Mikael, defending in those moments. Good tackle.
Belda will take the corner. Headed away defensively, Suarez. Anthony, swing and a miss. The ball couldn't get on it though. Anthony now loses it to Suarez, and the foul is given. It'll be a Timbers restart.
Paul's holding on to the left arm, and when he goes down, Miami get those calls all the time. It's a foul. Absolutely.
Rodrigo De Paul asking Drew Fisher to watch the video board here at New Stadium. It's not a convincing argument. Bassett followed by De Paul, who's shown a yellow card. De Paul, the first player in the book today.
great challenge. The ball's been played by Cole Bassett. Not really needed from DePaul in the moment. By the way, that's the Cole Bassett Portland. Just two-touch, keep the ball moving. He's got great movement off the ball, but the more good. Keep it simple.
Finds Zelda. Bray steps in front of DaCosta. Now Rodrigo DePaul with room to carry forward. Clips it into Leo Messi. Messi to Suarez. Back to Messi. Oh, still into gave the credit to the brilliance of Leo Messi. A goal and an assist in this first half. Bertarame's goal doubles the lead. 2-0 Miami.
You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. 38 years old and yet he's still moving like this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The rest of the world better beware. While he's been publicly indifferent on the World Cup, if you've watched anything over the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's ready. And the world's ready for the greatest of all time to defend his World Cup title. Berterame better buy him a drink. Puts on a platter as he dances and glides his way through 4 Timber defenders. It's 2-0 Inter Miami.
It's like the ball is glued to his foot. I mean, never more than a few inches away from his boot. For several touches as Leo Messi shows his form, shows his brilliance, and Herman Berterame has his 5th goal of the season. Goals, 6 assists for Leo Messi. 13 games. Now Cole Bassett. Timbers looking for a response before halftime. Bye wins the corner.
Now 7 of the last 8 Portland Timber games away from home, they've given up at least 2 goals. And yet all the positivity and the patterns of play and the possession and 2 or 3 chances that they've had. The problem is Miami's had 12 shots. Expected goals of nearly 2 or 3. So the point being is that you've got to be absolutely perfect if you want to knock Miami off the throne.
Zelda's corner. I got his head to it but couldn't get it down. Phil Neville did say Portland needs 3 goals today. That still holds. The player comparison is presented by Celsius. Pure passion and maximum energy with 0 sugar. A lot of touches for Cole Bassett, but maybe the more consequential ones from Rodrigo DePaul.
It's very well said, because I'd argue that DePaul's had more influence defending, putting out fires, been a little bit better next to Yannick Wright in certain moments, and yet he's played 3 or 4 really penetrating passes in behind from deep line positions, and that's where touches can be so misleading, because if every touch is east to west and 5 yards, it doesn't matter. Give a player of DePaul's quality 15, 20 touches, and then you can see the quality that he's had. He's had a much better performance in the first 45 tonight than what you and I have seen over the last 3 or 4 Inter-Miami games.
Minimum 4 minutes of added time in the first half. Inter Miami leads Portland 2-0. A goal and an assist from Leo Messi. Berterame, the goal scorer on the second.
Would you agree with me there's a little bit of a burst back to Messi when he's on the ball than what we saw early on in the year?
Absolutely.
A little bit more of a quickness.
I mean, you said it. The World Cup's coming up. This is the penultimate game for Inter Miami before the World Cup. Look at this ball. He looks ready. Wonderful ball. It's Ian Frey. Wins the corner.
But at 38 years old, you know, often you hear and read about, well, he walks a lot. He's always trying to find spaces. But with the last 4 or 5 Miami games that we've done, his turn of pace, his quickness with the ball, it looks like Messi of old. I'm not saying it's Messi of Barcelona, but you'd be a complete idiot if you think he can't impact a World Cup where third-place teams go through. You can rest him in certain moments if you need him. I don't care what he said publicly. Number 10 for Argentina will be ready on June 12th.
It does seem like that acceleration, that burst is certainly still there. De Paul will leave this corner for Messi. Now Rodrigo De Paul and Leo Messi. Oh, awesome De Paul.
I mean, even a ball like that ends up to his teammate.
Clearly intentional. Suarez high heads away. Bright thought about it, brings it down to Mikael and Lujan. Messi leaves for De Paul. And Messi. Mikael. Messi. Suarez. Reguilon. Segovia. Messi. Oh, Nutmeg Bassett. Reguilon. Tries to get around Velda. Bassett finally takes it away, but he's under a lot of pressure. Velda does well to get his body in the way of Segovia, and now he carries forward. Christopher Velda, broken up by Yannick Bright. De Paul knocks it forward to Suarez. Miller there for Portland. Bassett. Christopher Velda. Brandon by towards the Costa. Mikael cuts it off. Oh, stayed in play.
Listen, May 2nd, you and I were in this building. Miami went into halftime winning 3-1. And Orlando came out and completely spooked Miami. I think that's got to be the message from Phil Neville going into halftime. In the first 15 minutes, that's the tone of the second half. That Miami's going to have to chase the game. That they're going to have to play in transition, which is where they're uncomfortable in those defensive actions. That's got to be the message. And if you're Miami, you've got to go in at halftime and have a message and a statement that you're going to leave with a clean sheet tonight.
Miami halfway to their first win at New Stadium, but we know that doesn't guarantee anything. Messi was brilliant in the first half with a goal and an assist. Miami leads 2-0 over Portland. This is Sunday Night Soccer on Apple TV. is underway on Sunday Night Soccer presented by Continental Tire. It's Inter Miami hosting the PortlandTimbers. Miami with a 2-0 lead entering the second half. Taylor, what do the substitutions first and foremost tell you is Ortiz immediately steps in, Velda can't do anything with it. Tell you about the approach both these teams will have after the
Well, Muro is going to be a little bit more defensive-minded, right? Now, Ian Frey, 3 games in a week, shown some cramping and hamstring, that kind of stuff that we saw in Cincinnati. I think Muro's been brought in basically for some solidarity defending in those moments. Diego Charval was chasing the game, and it felt like he was up against it by himself. I think Ortiz comes in to just bring fresh legs and some real range within the midfield of Portland.
Mikhail does well to get there in front of Velda. Now Segovia carries forward for Miami. No pressure on Yannick Bright, Paul and Lujan. Timbers backing off to begin this second half, trailing by 2 goals.
Well, this was the idea and still is the idea from Phil Neville in Portland, is to use Miami in their urgency of always wanting and loving going forward and being very ruthless with their positioning. It's kind of what Orlando City did May 2nd, and so Phil Neville's had to probably reiterate that. Hoyos and Miami still have questions of whether or not they can see a game out, but they've got to show their quality. They've got pace. We've seen the pace, but can they have quality in those moments?
Bassett thought about turning, now he does. It was in transition where Orlando really got to Miami as that game went on. Portland will now build in possession. Ortiz into the game, just his second appearance in the last 7. Since Jose Caicedo arrived, it has been him patrolling the midfield, but he left their game in Montreal on Wednesday in the 9th minute with an injury and is not available today. David DaCosta. Christopher Velda, he has time. Velda will hit it. It's blocked by Mikhail, who got over, but it spins out for a Portland corner.
It just took him too long. He took the touch to prepare it, but he waits and stutters and allows Mikhail to come forward. Set piece is second phase of set piece defending. Oftentimes the deflection or whatever throws Miami off. Can Portland win their battle here?
Velda drives it in. Suarez, the defensive header. Anthony takes it quickly. Little karate volley is well wide. This is the win probability entering the second half. The numbers were similar on May 2nd. Portland will know there is a chance. Trailing 2-0, there is precedent for that. Miami will also know it is not assured. Let's go down to the pitch. Julian Sakovic. Julian, what do you know about Miami's substitution of Muro for Frey?
Jake, the Miami coaching staff is telling us that Ian Frey was feeling a little something in his hamstring, and the medical staff told him he needed to stick out the second half.
He came out of that Orlando match after scoring with a little hamstring injury, missed the game. This is Miami's 3rd game in 9 days. Portland's as well. Miami without Matteo Silvetti today. Rest is the word. He's coming back from an injury.
I thought he was really good off the bench against Cincinnati. And then news broke an hour before kickoff that Allende's out for an extended period of time after knee surgery.
Went to Barcelona for a knee consultation. Today Allende unavailable. Suarez has been great. Not there, as he apologizes to his teammates. They might have to ride the 39-year-old legs of Luis Suarez a bit more. Portland gives it away to Suarez. Suarez going to keep going. Broken up, falls to Berterame. Big block by Sermon. Messi settling. Still Messi. Taken away. Bassett and Joao Ortiz. Buildup will stay on his feet, continue forward. And now the foul's given.
Yeah, but it's better for Miami defending in these moments. The ball turns over. Good spot here from Sermon to step into that challenge with a strike from Berterame. But then when Portland's going the other way, InterMiami had the numbers and they had them in right spots. Something you and I haven't seen throughout the entire year, because Valda and Kelsey were in.
Just the one change each way from the teams that started the game as Kelsey does well to hold up, but he's called for a handball. It came off Ortiz
too, because he did a good job of holding off the defender with a difficult ball played into him.
You know, I remember a few weeks ago, Taylor, we were in San Diego, and I think you wanted more from Kevin Kelsey, specifically holding up play. He's done better in that regard today.
Yeah, Phil and I spoke about this after that game because he listened to the game and the commentary, and he said, you must be at our training, that he will get more goals if he's better with his hold-up play. And guess what he's had over the last 4 games? 4 goals, 2 assists. He's got a real profile to cause real headaches for the opposition. He's got good feet to run, and he strikes the ball well, but he's got to make his life easier by having his hold-up play be very simple and for Portland to play off of him. And I agree with you, Jake. Even 53 minutes tonight, he hasn't lost possession the way we saw a couple weeks ago in San Diego.
Joao Ortiz springing to Costa behind Lujan. Now it's Anthony. Back heel to David DaCosta. Right defending, DaCosta twisting and turning. DaCosta still. Mora there. Gets the position. And gets it away.
Good spot from Ortiz. Take time. Can't take it off the ball.
Now Kelsey leaving. Belda! Just over. Better for Portland in search of their opener.
Much better for Portland. Great spot from Ortiz in that counter-pressing moment. The ball felt like he was fouled, but that's a good step in. But then how about the play? Immediately talking about the hold-up play from Kelsey. He lays it off a little bit too hard for Velda to hit it, but still good combination, good play all around from Portland.
Does well to get there. Now Belda settles, plays it to Bai. Bai across, headed away. That was Lujan.
Well, right on cue, isn't it? Miami at home, comfortable lead, just kind of turning the game in favor of Portland. Brandon Bai delivers that with real pace to the back post. I think a little bit more composure and takes a little bit off to the near post, but Portland have had a few opportunities here.
Phil Neville, Miami's second ever head coach. Guillermo Hoyos is fit. 6th if you count Javier Morales' brief interim stint. Reguilón now. Sermon chasing. Reguilón cutting it. Segovia leaving. Suarez couldn't get there. Miami still has it. Segovia! Over.
Yeah, but this is where Regalon has done a very good job of being an outlet. They've missed that. And it's not a slight on Noah Allen in that position, but that's not Noah Allen's game. Miami now has someone similar to Jordi Alba to play through when they're in that. Switch the point of attack and get the fullback going forward.
Formula One heads north of Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix at the iconic circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The championship battle intensifies, and you can watch the race live Sunday, May 24th on Apple TV, the new U.S. home of Formula One. Elda does well to turn. Elda carries forward, will cut inside. Velda right at St. Clair. DaCosta on the rebound. And he was offside. DaCosta was when the shot was taken by Velda. The flag is raised.
He's fearless, and he's aggressive and direct, but just gliding right by Rodrigo de Paul. DaCosta's in an offside position, but the reality is this, is that I thought the first half, Rodrigo de Paul was giving you all the effort in the world and defending in those moments. This second half has started. He's in the ear of Drew Fisher, and Portland players are just dribbling in and around him, gliding by him. This is the part of the game where the manager has got to be a yellow.
Snap by, draws the foul from Segovia, the little hesitation. Segovia shown a yellow card. He joins Rodrigo de Paul as the two players on yellows in this match.
But this is why at halftime, Jake, you asked me, what are we going to learn from Miami? This is where the manager now has to see the game and understand the circumstance of the game, and now the changes that you make impact the game. It's not necessarily bringing on attacking players in the moment when you've got two of your three midfielders on yellows. Both of those players playing in their third game in a week. This is how you manage a game. We're going to find out a lot about Miami and the manager and whether or not he can see the game and the circumstance of it and change his plan of action to accommodate the game.
Elda over the set piece, drives it in. St. Clair punches away. Bertarame is down. Now back to his feet as DePaul tries to play forward. Mora, back heel, DePaul, and Messi. DePaul and Suarez. Segovia. Elda comes back to break it up. Ends up with Suarez. Kelsey again tracking back. Wright is down, holding onto his leg. Play is stopped. This exclusive NetCam replay is brought to you by AT&T.
Good command here from Dane St. Clair coming off his line. Cincinnati needed that against Miami Wednesday night coming off the line, didn't they?
They did. Roman Celentano colliding with his own player, dropping the ball.
And then this was Bright. He just got a toe from Kelsey on the back of the leg. But you need command from your goalkeeper coming off the line and really coming through it and punching that. It was a solid goalkeeper from Dane St. Clair. We still got 30-plus minutes in this, but how big of a confidence boost would it be for Dane St. Clair to get a clean sheet in a moment like this?
Christopher Velda's been up for this. Really ridiculous skill and then draws the foul.
I think Yannick Wright's lucky to get away with this without a yellow. Persistent infringement, which is exactly what Velda was talking about and looking at the referee. But Velda in the second half has been pretty strong in just being deliberate with his action, but confident in those one-on-one moments.
He's a player that wants the spotlight. He wants the burden on him. He welcomes the big moments, the big games. This is one. Now a set piece. Held up. Again, St. Clair comes. This time he catches comfortably. Nobody could get there for Portland. Suarez has time asking his teammates, where are you? Finds Bertarame.
But look at the space from the back line, from the back four to the front three of Miami. It's about 50-yard difference. It's too big.
No foul there. Play continues. That's been when they've been vulnerable, right? Look at the tape from goals against Cincinnati, Evanders on Wednesday. The second goal in Orlando. Can Portland take advantage and get back into this game? Joao Ortiz clips it into Kevin Kelsey. Wright pokes it away. Mikael just sends it as far as he can.
Yeah, but even Suarez is looking back, asking his back line. There's got to be you can be ruthless all you want, but if you're not together and you don't keep that shape within 35, 40 yards of each other, then the game gets spread out, and Miami just doesn't have the legs, especially with a front three of Suarez, Messi, and Bertarame. You're basically defending with 7 at the moment anyway.
Ortiz for Kevin Kelsey. Kelsey leaving. Velda. Oh! Velda still. Velda blocked. Facundo Mora. It would not have counted because Kelsey was offside. The flag raised in the end.
Well, lucky for Velda, it doesn't count because you've got two teammates sitting on the front door, and that's extremely close. He's off. But Muro on the other side's got to be mindful that he's got to step with his defenders. But my goodness, you had both DaCosta and Cole Bassett. Fortunate enough for Velda, Kelsey was offside.
Timbers have had good moments, and Phil Neville acknowledged that at halftime. It's just that final moment when the ball gets close. Daniel Pinter getting ready to come on for Miami. He is a forward, a homegrown. He's fresh legs and young legs, but a forward, not a defender. No. DaCosta for Portland. Velda. DaCosta. It stopped his run. And it's easy for St. Clair.
And DaCosta needed a little bit more conviction from Brandon By. But look at this from Miami. The goalkeeper plays it direct. They're attacking with 3, defending basically with 6. And then if Segovia and DePaul want to get to midfield, that's fine. But there's literally 3 attacking players from Miami right now.
Well, nobody stops DePaul, and he leaves for Messi. The deflection is saved by Pantemis.
Well, the question is, Pinter, is he coming in for Bertarame or is he coming in for Suarez? And I'd be shocked if it's not Suarez because just legs. But again, it's too disjointed. It is too uncertain here for Miami with a 2-goal lead at home for the second straight time.
Kelsey and Lujan were getting into it as Velda was coming forward and asking for a handball. Oh, Mora around the post. He will take the yellow card, pulling the jersey from behind.
A little clever from Muro just to get DaCosta to overcommit. DaCosta was done chasing that one.
And And now the change. It will be Luis Suarez making his third start in 9 days. We'll go 66 minutes today. He'll come off, and the 18-year-old homegrown Daniel Pinter will enter. Portland had Ian Smith up next to Pinter and chose not to bring him on in that moment. He is still getting instructions, it appears, from the Timbers coaching staff. Timbers are going to keep going with the 11 on the field now. This might work out for Miami. DePaul trying to chase it down. It came off of Miami last. Rodrigo DePaul disagrees with that decision. So does Lionel Messi. And now Portland will make this change. Ian Smith will come on, and Kamal Miller, the former Inter Miami player, will come on. Miller, a starter on that League Cup championship team in 2023. Up the middle, makes it over to Messi! Messi! Blocked by Sermon, who kept up well.
Really good from Bertarame. Really strong hold-up play, but this is laid out and given, but Sermon defends as well. He could have got caught and dove in there, but instead held his composure, good technique, and he stayed with the pace of Messi. Good defending from the World Cup bound center back.
Messi goes short to Segovia. Rodrigo DePaul. Segovia to Messi. DePaul. Right. And DePaul. And Bright. Miami patient now. Two midfielders will knock it back and forth.
Kamal Miller came over to the PortlandTimbers bench, and he was grabbing his right hamstring.
Yeah, let's go down to the pitch. Jillian Sakovitz, you're just a few feet away from the Timbers bench. What are you seeing and hearing?
Yeah, Taylor was right. Kamal Miller was kind of wincing in pain, holding his right hamstring, and the original sub for that was PortlandTimbers right back Brandon by, and then perhaps they saw that Miller was in pain, and he instead was the sub.
That's not a great face on a guy hoping to go to the World Cup in a few weeks.
Well, over the last 48 hours, the games around the world for the U.S. men's national team fans, Chris Richards coming out of the game and needing help to get to the locker room in England.
It's that time, right? Yeah.
It's that time. The hardest thing is, and it's an old adage, but if you play scared, you will always get hurt. And I'm not saying Kamal Miller is playing scared. That's not what I'm saying. But it's human nature. It's in the back of your mind. You want to represent your country in the second World Cup. So let's hope it's not a serious hamstring injury for Kamal Miller.
No foul was given there. That's a wonderful ball from Segovia to DePaul. Back to Messi. Smith back to defend. Messi spinning. Messi! Just wide.
Well, there was no foul called there on Yannick Bright, but I thought Velda wasn't strong enough in that. But look at how quickly he can turn. And I said it going into halftime at the end of the first half. There's a turn of pace and quickness to Messi over the last, I'd say, 3 or 4 weeks that we haven't really seen And I don't think it's a coincidence. He's doing double days with Rodrigo De Paul to get ready for the World Cup. Very, very quickly can turn a defender.
Cole Bassett, Acosta, Bassett, now Joao Ortiz. 10 from Miami behind the ball, only Messi is not. Now Smith, that takes a deflection, easy for St. Clair. The matchday results are presented by AT&T. Chicago with 2-0 win over Montreal. Charlotte beats Toronto. DC and St. Louis a draw. New England get back to winning ways at home. Several other 1-1 draws, including Philadelphia and Columbus, who have parted ways with manager Henrik Rudstrom earlier today. Kansas City's won 2 in a row. Houston beats Vancouver. Galaxy over Seattle for the first time in Seattle since 2016. Some crazy endings out west. Sam Starver, what a goal, what a celebration, what an end to stoppage time in San Diego. With San Diego and Cincinnati trading goals for a 3-3 draw.
Celebration good. Go to his Instagram page today. Brilliant.
He's a character.
There was some drama though. Tom Barlow salvaging a point from Cincinnati. Just last minute drama. It was brilliant. Great games.
And one more to finish out match day 14, a doubleheader here on Sunday Night Soccer. Nashville hosting LAFC, getting underway when we finish up here in Miami.
And that World Cup break can't come soon enough for those two teams.
It feels that way, right? Going deep into CONCACAF Champions Cup takes a lot out of teams.
It does, but the last 12 teams to either make the semifinals or finals of CONCACAF Champions Cup since 2015, Jake, 9 of those teams have made the playoffs. This year's going to be very unique. We've never had a World Cup break like this, so I expect Nashville and LAFC to regroup.
Here's Pinter behind Thurman. It's Daniel Pinter. He couldn't get any power behind the shot. Thurman did enough. Pinter looking for his first team goal.
The humidity's taken a lot of the energy out of the legs. The game has been very spread out and slow versus what we saw the first 45 minutes.
It's hot, it's humid, as it typically is in Miami in the summer. Weather's turned to that. Pinter takes it off of DaCosta by, steps in. That was clean. And it'll be a Timbers throw. It's off of Pinter last. DaCosta will now leave the game for Portland. Alexander Aravena, the Chilean international, will enter. Third change for Portland. One more substitution window left for Phil Neville, and 2 more changes if he chooses to make them. Always wonderful away support from the Timbers, no matter how far away from Portland they are, and this is as far as you can get in Major League Soccer from the Pacific Northwest. A couple hundred fans made the trip here to Miami. Smith combines with Aravena. He goes down trying to get a call, it's not given. The ball to Messi, to the ball. Behind Bergerame, but he has so much space, he can get on it and carry forward. Still with time, still with space. Bergerame, his shot was blocked. And Bassett just wasn't fully committed to that run. It's been a long road trip for Phil Neville and the Timbers. They've been away from home since Monday. They played in Montreal on Wednesday, a 2-2 draw. Been down here since Thursday. And he said it a little bit ago, Taylor, the game has slowed, as you might expect for a match played in these conditions in the third in 9 days for both teams. Bertarame, Segovia, Bertarame, Inter.
Kamal Miller's gone out. They went to 3 in the back with Corey, Sermon, and Brandon By, and it feels like they should have numbers in the midfield at least to combat it, but it almost has been the opposite. And so that's where Ortiz and Bassett have to really get a grip of the game, and also the shape of the teams that then, you know, force Miami to go around them. But Miami over the last couple of minutes has gone right through Portland.
Bennett draws the foul. Portland outpossessing Miami in this game, which is surprising coming in. Miami have the 2 first-half goals. The goal and the assist from Leo Messi, and they lead 2-0. Segovia buys as well to break it up. Now Velda, still Velda! Mikael did enough defensively. Velda was able to poke it towards St. Clair. He's asking about a foul.
Well, there's going to be a question of whether or not Mikael challenges and tackles Velda, even though Velda still gets a shot. Does the back of the leg kind of foul him and go through as he strikes it? It's close.
It's being checked right now as Miami comes forward. Corey sends it out for a Miami corner.
Yeah, and now this stoppage has happened, so if VAR was going to step into it, they can now. So the question is going to be whether or not, when he cuts it here, does Mikael foul Velda and come through that?
Phil Neville thinks so.
Well, VAR is still looking at it. I just, oftentimes, because the shot was taken, the question is going to be whether or not it was a clear and obvious foul, and I don't think that fits the criteria of a clear and obvious foul.
The check is complete. No clear and obvious error. Miami takes the corner. Floats it to Messi. Over to Segovia. Segovia curling. And high and wide. The best assist of the match is presented by Lowe's. Our members score more. Never a more obvious choice than Miami's second goal tonight.
Yeah, and Apple TV being in over 100 countries around the world, they're going to be seeing this highlight for weeks upon months, just gliding through 4 or 5 Portland Timber defenders, and then just softly laying it off for Bertarame's 5th of the year.
Cuts inside. Aravena. Bassett was there as well. By floating it in. Kelsey's header. Right at St. Clair. He's on the rebound. Kelsey leaves it. Anthony's shot was blocked by Mikael. Anthony back to By. By drives it in. Bright heads it away and goes down. He was fouled by Bassett, who crashed into his back. Bright is holding onto his head and play is stopped.
I mean, it's a brilliant run from Kelsey to get in front of the defender. Mikael was caught flat-footed. I think St. Clair wasn't. Terribly. 6 goal contributions in his last 4 games.
Yannick Bright continues to be checked out by InterMiami's athletic training and medical staff. One more game before the World Cup for InterMiami. They're hosting last year's Supporter Shield winners and this year's last place team, the Philadelphia Union. That's next Sunday here at New Stadium. And then, almost 2 months, and they'll return to play with the Chicago Fire here at home.
Will that be the Robert Lewandowski's Chicago Fire?
I don't know. You tell me. Will it? Will it be Lewandowski and Kuipers, the Golden Boot leader, playing together?
I mean, I'm sure Greg Berhalter would want it, but how about tip of the cap to Mansueto and that ownership group with that stadium, McDonald's Park, and then the ambition to make a serious offer to Lewandowski, who ended his Barcelona career today. 3 La Liga titles in 4 years.
Will it be a meeting of former Barca stars when play returns? Guillermo Hoyos doesn't care about that right now. He's focused on the next 10 minutes and InterMiami finishing out their first win at home this season. As Yannick Bright comes off, and it looks like he will come out of this game. David Ashala, the former Portland Timber, is getting ready to come on, as is Preston Klambeck, the homegrown. Seems like the substitution maybe was not ready, and they're not going to be able to make it right now. So InterMiami are playing down a man, and it's not an off-field treatment rule situation because
that was a head injury, and if it's head injury, then no.
And if you come off as a substitute, it doesn't matter as well. So now they can make the change. It will be Bright coming off. Ashala, who came to Miami from Portland for $2 million in a cash-for-player trade in January, will come on to play against the team that he was a member of for the past 4 years. And Klambeck, who was signed to the first team on Wednesday, will make his 3rd appearance as he enters for Herman Berterame. One more window, one more change left for Guillermo Hoyos. Nobody was there for Bassett. Now Segovia into Klambeck. Inter over to Reguilon. Reguilon cuts it back to Messi. Takes a touch. Closed down by Aravena, who does well. The Timbers take it away. Ian Smith to Kevin Kelsey. Could be promising for Portland. Kelsey carrying forward. Cuts inside. Heavy touch. Ooh. And a real nasty collision with Mikhail and Kelsey. Both players down. Mikhail holding onto his left ankle.
It was a heavy touch from Kelsey as he cuts across, and then a reckless challenge. Mikhail is extremely fortunate that he just kind of avoids the brunt of it and kind of goes away.
That play is being checked right now by Kevin Terry Jr. for a potential red card on Kelsey lunging in. That check was quick and complete. It's cleared.
84th minute. Somehow this game is still at 2-0 in favor of Miami.
It has really slowed as the second half has gone on. Anthony off of Mikhail. The Timbers want to get something out of this game. They need to find a goal soon.
And if they find a goal before the 90th minute, I can promise you one thing, it's going to get very nervy in here.
Miami looking for their first win in this stadium. A goal for Miami, meanwhile, could give them some assurance. Here is Preston Klambeck cutting inside. Klambeck is where Pinter Sermon heads away for Portland. By trying to get it forward to Anthony, but Segovia was there. Segovia going to go all the way to Pantemis. to get it to Bassett. Ashawa called for a foul. He was holding on to Bassett. And a set piece coming for Portland. Bill Neville will make his final 2 substitutions. Kevin Kelsey's going to come off for Gage Guerra, playoff hero for Portland, no stranger to scoring late dramatic goals. And Anthony will come off for a returning Juan Mosquera. There's Guerra. He's played just 1 in the last 8, 1 minute in the last 8. Fresh legs on. Mosquera missed the last 6. Played just 1 half this season. Had a goal and an assist in their first half against Vancouver. Has dealt with injuries the rest of the year. Belden serves this. Good ball over everybody and all the way through. It's a really good ball whipped in from Belda. It's away from the goalkeeper at the right height and pace, and yet nobody from Portland really challenging that ball whipped in. Bill Neville wants Drew Fisher to force Miami to hurry up. Messi gesturing to La Familia, the Miami supporters. Still waiting for their first win in this building. Another foul. I think you've seen Messi go out of his way now in the 89th minute to address the crowd, because I think he was made wind of it. He was the first out of the stadium against Orlando, immediately into the tunnel as Mosquera cuts inside. Miami still with work to do to finish this off, but Portland has not been able to threaten in the second half. Now Messi. Still trying to get it to Planbeck. Clearance only first. Inter! Saved by Pantemis. That was struck really well. And the flag is raised on Inter Miami. Well, this kid's going to be special. Javier Mascherano told me numerous amount of times, Pinter can play, great instincts as an attacking player, can score goals, but he wants to be successful. He's open to criticism. That is a really good strike for the Miami homegrown. Held up. This run was held up by Fora. Sees it out for a goal kick. Time now, a minimum 5 minutes for Inter Miami to see out their first win in their new stadium.
Gives it away. Messi turns away from Thurman, who just holds onto him, takes the yellow card. Just his first of the season. And one of the real bright spots of the Portland Timbers this first half of 2026. And well, it's going to be interesting because I think there's going to be a lot of scouts drooling over the prospects of Sermon. And Portland, I think, will have to make a difficult decision during the World Cup break because you get asked a lot of scouts. The fact that he's, 22, 23 years old? 22, yep. Going to play in a World Cup, more than likely stays healthy. You get 2 or 3 World Cups out of that kind of career. Good on Portland. It was a signing in 2024 that really went unnoticed and not talked about. It could turn into a really fruitful signing for them. On the other hand, they're going to have to find a replacement. So, but the World Cup break comes at the right time, and you got to have your ducks in a row. They've waited a long time for this. And I'm not talking about the 4 games. Since the moment the Moss family joined David Beckham to bring InterMiami back to MLS, to bring new stadium to life. The Moss family, Beckham's, these fans, they've waited a moment, and they know the call.
Bye.